Okay, we're recording. Welcome, welcome. It honestly feels like I have not done a call in a really long time because the last one I was in charge of, I had somebody do it for me, the Diamond Push. So it's been a little bit, but I am super excited to host this. I have listened to a ton of calls on challenge groups, and so just a bunch of different ideas. And so I wanted to just kind of brainstorm and share them with you, and then you can pick and choose what you think will work for you to kind of mix things up. So hopefully these will all be great tips that you can add to your challenge groups to make them fun and exciting and more engaging. And I know we kind of get in ruts, but before we get into the call, I think there's just a couple announcements. One, MM100 is for coaches will be launched July 1st. So that's when we can purchase it. And so I am super excited about that. It's going to be an awesome program. And hopefully there's trainings and stuff that are ready to go. Personally, I have not watched any of them yet, but I will. And Daria is actually going to do a call on it next week. So put that in your calendar so that you're ready to go. The Vegan Recover, in our team page, we did like a challenge for like a prize for those who purchased the Vegan Chocolate Recover. So make sure you put your order number in the comments. You have until next Friday. So what's that, like the 21st, I think, to put that in to be eligible to get your name in the raffle for the drawing for the prize. So make sure you're doing that. And I think that's all the announcements. No rank advancements or anything today, right? We're good? Cool. Okay. Challenge groups. Here we go. Hopefully you have a pen and paper. There are a lot of good golden nuggets in here, or I thought so anyway. Maybe you guys are already doing this and this is going to be old news. I hope not, because a lot of this is from like top coaches. We had a call with Tina Gray yesterday, and she gave us a lot of really different ideas. Some of them I don't think would work for my group, but it would work for, I think, people who are kind of her tribe, if that makes sense. It's been working great for her. And so I wanted to share it because I feel like not one way of a challenge group is going to work for everybody, right? We need to do us because we attract people like us. So if you have something that's working for you, I would love for you to share it at the end. I will try to keep this very straight and to the point. So be thinking like how you're getting your engagement up and your excitement up, because I'm sure there's ideas that we have within our team that we don't even think to share. So just remember that I'm probably going to be throwing a lot of content at you, and don't feel like you have to do everything, because not all of them are all going to work in the same group. They're too different, but just take some notes, see what you want to implement in this next group, see how it works. And if it's great, keep it and add something the next group, right? So just kind of baby steps and keep building. Don't feel like you have to do everything all at once. That's how we get overwhelmed and that's how we get stuck. So just try to add a few new things to keep it exciting, right? Okay, so first I want to start with prep week. At the beginning of a challenge group, we start with prep week, right? And typically I have always done a 7-day prep week, right? We introduce ourselves, we share our whys, we go over the meal plan, we go over shopping lists, we get rid of our junk food, like all of those things. There's nothing wrong with that. And actually I just did it in my hadn't done it for a while. I just did it in my last challenge group. And it was fun again for me, which made it fun for my challengers because they feed off our excitement, right? If we're bored, they're going to be bored. So we need to mix it up so that we're excited about it, because we run these challenge groups over and over again, especially if we have challengers who keep joining us, right? Or if we run one solid group throughout the year. So a couple of different ideas. In my 5-Star Diamond group, there was somebody who just does a 3-day prep weekend and calls it good. So it is short and to the point. They have like a main post where everybody can introduce themselves, and that's kind of the pinned post at the top. And then there's 3-day prep week. They go over the meal plan. They go over, I mean, they get rid of all the fluffy stuff, and they just really get down to the nitty gritty and go over the meal plan and, you know, share where to find the meal plans and get it together and all of that stuff. So I like that idea because I'm not a fluffy person. And so sometimes all that fluff just adds too much and makes it too complicated. But another great idea, which I have not tried yet, and I'm just getting all of this together, is a prep email. So it's a prep, not a prep week email, but when they purchase, when you see that their purchase has come through, you send them an email. And I actually am going to, cross my fingers, try to share my screen so you guys can see it. I will copy it and put it in the comments after I post this recording, but I just want you to see, where, oh, let's see. Can you see that? Can you see the whole email right here? Okay, so anyway, it's great, it's to the point. This is just a basic. So if you see over here on the left, I've got like a 2B mindset prep email and an ultimate portion fix prep email. Like I said, I will copy and paste these underneath in the comments, or I don't know how the best way to share them is, but that way you guys can copy and paste them into your notes or do whatever you want with them. You can change them however you want, but basically it's just step-by-step. Download the nutrition app if you're doing like a basic, like if you, well, for the 2B mindset, okay, so I need to delete that. Let's do it, everyone. I just barely changed that. So this one is for the ultimate portion fix. So you do the nutrition app, and go through the videos, you start watching those, and then here's your workouts, right? Step 3, step 4, before pics and measurements. So you're going through everything in that prep week right here. And then you can add like your Facebook challenge group, or number 5, if you're doing the challenge tracker instead of Facebook, you can add all those details in right here, and then add a link to your Facebook group if you have it, what to do when your box arrives, right? So it's step by step, and it really helps them see how to like do the prep week on their own. And then when they join the group, you're welcoming them and you're jumping right into day 1 because they've already done the prep week. So I really, really like that. And I thought that was super detailed and very, very informative. So I really like that. And personally, I have not tried it yet, but I would really like to. And I know like Kate Schultes, that's what she does. This isn't her specific email, but I know she does that because she's been on some calls and we've talked about it a little bit. And she says that it's worked awesome because people are super busy, right? We live in a microwave world. We know that. So people want to jump in and they want to get started now. They don't want to go through that prep week. So if they can prep on their own, then that will just make things go that much faster. Okay. So those are my ideas for prep week, or the ideas that I've kind of pulled here and there. So like I said, don't feel like you have to do all of them. Obviously, all 3 of them aren't going to work in the same group. So choose one, try it, see how you like it, and then kind of, you know, change it up if you need to, add to it, and move on to the next. Okay. So you can do like one continuous group, which is also what Kate does. So she does one continuous group and she adds people every Monday. So every week she will advertise that she has a new group starting up, and she adds everybody every Monday. And because she's sending them this prep email, then she doesn't have to do a prep week. So nobody feels behind. Nobody feels like they're not caught up with everybody. Nobody feels, you know, like they're lost because everybody's just jumping in. And so she'll do one welcome email every Monday, and she will recognize them and celebrate the new people who have joined, which I think is super fun because it gives them a little bit more recognition. It gives them a little bit like of a welcoming, right, to the group. So I think that's super fun, and I'm definitely recognition driven. And so I think that would be awesome for us to recognize those new people, and then we can kind of create that community of recognizing and celebrating each other, if that makes sense. And she also uses social learning in Facebook, right? So she has the units, she has everything planned out and organized that way. But of course, you can use the challenge tracker and do it all the same, right? With the challenge tracker. So you do what's best for you. I've tried both. Personally, I love Facebook more. The challenge tracker just does not have the community vibe for me. Personally, it just doesn't have that. But I know there's a lot of top coaches who absolutely love it. So you do what works for you, okay? At the very beginning, you want to set expectations. So in that email, you can add in expectations. You can have the main post be expectations. I have done this. I did it a long time ago, and then I kind of left it out, and my challenge groups kind of fizzled. I did it in my last group that we started in May, and it has been awesome, just because they know what they need to do and they know what to expect from us. So it's really, really nice. Kate Schulte, she said she like writes this quote in the group, and it says, if you are kicking butt or if you're sucking it up, still show up. And I love that. It just creates that community that you don't have to be perfect, that you don't have to have a perfect day in order to like check in, right? You, no matter what, show up. If you had a crappy day, we all have crappy days. We all have excellent days. We all have those in-between days, which is probably a majority of us, right? So show up anyway, no matter what it is. So I loved that. And she says, like, take ownership of your journey. You have to meet me halfway. I can't pull you along. I'm not going to hold your hand. You meet me halfway and I will help you. I'm your coach. I'm not your mom. And I think she's very straightforward like that. And I personally love that, but I know some people might get offended by that. So again, you do you, right? Let's see. So she also says, this is your journey. Make sure you show up for your day one. Right? So she's adding people in constantly. So she's reminding them, like, make sure you're showing up for your day one, because your day one is going to be different than Susie's day one, right? So just be careful of that. Another thing that I have tried is we do a check-in. So we used to do nightly check-ins, which is fine. But again, I'm finding that less is more. Because too many posts get super complicated, right? So I'm talking more Facebook right now, because my challenge tracker, you can check in workouts and shake right there, right? You can check those in every day. But in Facebook, we would do like a news, like nutrition, exercise, water, and Shakeology on a scale of 1 to 5. How did you do? Right? Every single night we would do that. And a lot of times those posts would get like pushed under, or we'd pin them and then they wouldn't see the other posts. And, you know, because they don't scroll through because they don't have time or they don't want to, whatever. So what we tried, actually, I'm going to see if I can share this with you. Oh, hang on. I got to share my screen. I can't just pull it up. Okay, here we go. Can you see that? Okay, so right here, you guys are like right in my way. Okay, so we've got the check-in right here. Sorry, I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, so every week, so this is week June 10th through the 16th, we've got all of these check-ins, Monday through Saturday. Everybody checks in on the exact same post. So you can see it's Thursday night and we've had 50 comments. So in my very first welcome post, I explain to them that this is how we're checking in, that we are all checking in under this same post for the week. We will check in with a picture of our workout or workout shoes or a picture of the screen or a sweaty selfie or a flex, like a bicep flex, whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be your face. And then a picture of your shake. So those are the two things that we're checking in. You can make it what you want. It can be just a check-in. It doesn't even have to be a picture, right? It can just be, got my workout done, showed up today. I didn't feel like it, but I did it anyway. Whatever, just a check-in to keep it simple. So again, you do what's best for your group. Pictures were, to be honest, a little hard in the beginning. Like we had to keep kind of like prompting them, and it seems that they're getting a little bit better. But anyway, so you can see that we've got, here, I'll go back. So we've got pictures of weights, Shakeology cups, sweaty selfies, you name it, we've got it all in here, which is so awesome. There's videos, there's boomerangs, whatever, and just descriptions. But I really liked having all of this in one place. It made it so much more simple. So I will definitely continue to do this. It makes it more fun because everybody is in the same place. Yeah. Anyway, and it makes it look really like a lot of people are in the group and a lot of people are really checking in, which is awesome too. So when you're sharing it on your stories or when you're, kind of doing all of that, you can show people just this one post, right? And then I make sure that I turn off my commenting at the end of the week and I start a new one. So if I go up here, oh, and I never do this on the computer. I always do it on my iPad. So let's see. If I come right here, I can turn off commenting. You see that right there? So at the end of the week on Sunday night or early Monday morning, I will turn off commenting and I will put up another one of these posts with the dates on it and let them know that this is where we're posting our check-ins for the week. Does that make sense? So I've really, really liked that. And I will definitely continue to do that. So that is one thing that has definitely been working for me. Another thing, let me make sure. And then you can take from that. So in the app, right, it shows you how many people worked out for that week, like how many times they checked in, and it shows you how many times they logged their shakes, right? So that's super easy. And this is the first time I'm doing it in this group. We are doing like dedicated divas. So those people who are logging at least 5 workouts and 5 shakes, we shout out every Sunday night and we list their names so that they get entered into the drawing at the end of the group, and then they win a prize. So those are my dedicated divas. And then there's also the weekend warriors that we will do if they post at least once. You guys, so easy. Once they get an entry into the drawing, okay? And those guys will, and then at the end, we choose one winner from everybody who's been selected or whatever, everybody who earned it basically, right? So we choose one winner and you can choose your prize from there. So that makes it fun and exciting, and we give everybody shout outs, and so then you have that recognition. Katie shared that she also does the weekend warriors, but she teams people up into pairs and then they tag each other when they are checking in or when they share a healthy recipe or when they do their workout or log their Shakeology, whatever. They tag each other. So that's another form of recognition. You always feel special when you're tagged, right? Like, oh, why are you tagging me? Oh, that was so fun, right? So have your followers do that back and forth as well. I think it's such a great idea. So I love that. Katie shared that. So thank you, Katie. Let's see. And then like some posting in there while you're doing it. Like so Tina Gray shared with us that she'll take a personal development book, probably one with more quotes in it, and she will base her posts off the quotes, which I thought was really cool. Rather than you're like typical, motivational, whatever format you use, or the challenge tracker or the challenge guides, challenge group guides is what they're called. But rather than following those, you can take, quotes and base it off the quotes. So it's more of a personal development group, along with health and fitness. And that's what Trina Gray does, or Trina Gray, sorry. She will do, it's more personal development, and then they add the health and fitness. So they really work on the mindset, and that's their main focus. So if you are a huge personal development buff and it has changed your life, maybe that's the route you should kind of turn to and see how that works for your people, right? Just kind of to mix it up and have it be fun. So I thought that was a great idea. Some other ideas that Trina does, and like I said, not all of these are things that I would necessarily do with my group, but I wanted to share them with you anyway, just in case this is something that you might want to try. So she does a continuous group all year long, and she basically advertises that they check in the first 10 days of the month. That's it. The first 10 days of the month, they check in. And then she does posts periodically throughout, but it's not like a daily thing. They don't have to check in every day. And she doesn't have everybody do the same program. They can pick their own program. In order to get into her group, they have to purchase a challenge pack and they have to be on Shakeology. So those are two requirements that she does have. I'm very similar. I do require a challenge pack or Shakeology. Once in a while, I'll let just somebody who purchases BOD in, but that is just if they're allergic or whatever, okay? So she loves to do a hybrid for herself. So she'll do, she likes to go to the gym. She loves to do yoga. She likes to go paddleboarding. She likes to run. Plus she likes to do these programs. So she hybrids a lot of these programs, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that works for her, it works for her people. And she has people who do that too, and they love it. So don't feel like it has to be 100% start to finish all the time. But if that's what you like to do so that you can say that you finished a program, that's awesome too, right? I know Julie Voris, she is a very start to finish type of coach. So find what works for you. They're both successful and they both have been doing this forever. So you find what works for you. Yeah, so she actually she calls it a personal development tribe that loves health and fitness. So she really focuses on the personal development and then just sprinkles in the health and fitness on the side. So that's kind of fun for her. I thought it was a great idea. And she also does just check in, no matter if it's good or if it's bad or if it's ugly, it doesn't matter, check in anyway. So I really, really like that. Let's see. Some engaging posts that you can do, like the would you rather summer or winter, would you rather chocolate or vanilla, whatever. Those games, those engaging games that you can kind of keep going on forever and ever are always super fun, especially at the beginning of a group, so that people can engage with each other and get used to commenting in there. If you have very shy people or people who aren't used to commenting on things, then this is a great way to get them used to kind of commenting and stuff. What's your favorite color? What's your dream vacation? Share some recipes, any get to know you questions, right? List off 3 random things about you, 2 truths and 1 lie, and then the next person has to guess what the lie is, whatever. So try to make it fun. Partnering people up is super fun. I've done it a bunch of times, not necessarily on the weekend like Katie's done, but we've done it for a full week. And I always try to get the people who post a lot to kind of connect with the people who don't post a lot to kind of help them post more, right? So I make it people who don't know each other so that they can kind of get to know each other a little bit better, which is super fun. So another great idea, which when I was in Brenna's group, we did a couple times, was a weekly Zoom or a weekly live. I know Ashley Molstead does this. She does the weekly Zoom and she goes live probably 3 times a week in her group and talks about mindset things, talks about whatever to build that community and kind of so they can get to know her a little bit more and feel that special one-on-one. And she just has a good thing about her, right? Like she can talk and she has a lot to say and she has just a great way of approaching it, I feel like. So I love that as well. I want to make sure I've covered everything. Yeah, I think I did. So I do have, I don't know about you, but I always struggle with coming up with creative names for groups. And so Trina Gray listed off a few. And so I have probably 10 or 12 right here that I thought would be fun. Some might be some that you've heard of, but just to give you ideas, if you have a group that you're wanting to start soon and you don't have a name yet, maybe one of these will hit home and give you some ideas. So here we go. The Finnish Fit Club, which I thought was fun. Summer Sweat and Soul. That's actually going to be mine. That was from Trina Gray, and I stole it from her because I really, really liked it. Awesome Abs and Attitude. That's also from Trina. The Skinny Jeans Project. This is a good one for fall, Halloween time. Mummies with No Tummies. Sisters in Strength is a good one. Spring cleaning for next year, I guess, next spring, right? Clean and Lean, Summertime Shredders, Summer Shape Up, Summer Slim Down, or Back on Track, which might be good after like Summit or something, right? Anyway, I thought some of those were good names. And another thing that Trina also does is she doesn't call it boot camp. She calls it her Sisterhood Studio is what she calls it, her virtual sisterhood studio, which I thought was kind of fun and classy. So I'm going to try calling it my studio. I've tried accountability groups. I've tried boot camp. When people hear boot camp, they think like intense. And I'm kind of intense, but I don't know if I necessarily attract intense people. So that didn't really work well with me or for me. So then, of course, the virtual gym or the virtual studio. So anyway, those are a few other things that you can kind of mix and match with for that. But I think that's about it that I have. So I would love to hear if you guys have something that's working for your challenge group, that's working that you love to use that gets excitement or engagement in your groups. If you have anything you want to share, go ahead and unmute yourself, and I would love to hear from you. All our groups are boring and dead. Nobody has anything exciting to share.
Mine mostly are. The only thing that I feel like still works for me is I have a graphic that says checkpoint on like the road sign. And I say, everyone just kind of give me an update, like how's everything going, like the nutrition, like just like a rundown. That's something I would usually ask in a personal message. But if I can get half of them to respond to that post, then I don't have to personally message them. I can just comment, and then that saves me time. So
that's a great idea. And I do remember seeing that. I love that. That's a great idea. Anybody else want to share anything? How many use the challenge tracker? How many prefer the challenge tracker?
I've been using it because you hear all these national wake-up calls about coaches saying, oh, we got to use the tracker, and so I feel like I need to use the tracker, but I do not get great engagement. So I think I'm going back to Facebook next time. But I have clients who love it, so I'm going to open the tracker because they just love to see all those little check marks so that they can still track their own thing, but I'm probably not going to post in there. I just haven't. My groups have been so dead. I've got 18 people in one of my groups right now, and three people are still checking in with me, so it's really frustrating.
That is so frustrating. Could you maybe try partnering them up? Do you think that would help?
I don't, because the people I like, when people disappear, I individually message them, you know, and they're all like, oh, I just totally forget to even look on the app. So they're not even opening it. So it wouldn't even help to pair them up, really.
So another thing that I don't know why I didn't write this down, or maybe I just overlooked it. So another thing that Chelsea Pearson would do is she would, like in the check-in, she would tag them there so that they know to check in. And in the app, it's hard, but if they're on Facebook and they get a notification that you've tagged them, right, then that will help and they'll see that. And so she does like the Monday through Sunday post, like I just did, like I showed you. And she'll tag them and be like, hey, you need to check in here. Once they've checked in, she goes back in and deletes her comment. So it's not in there, which I thought was really cool. So then they all kind of get that. And she does the social learning. She does a full year group as well. And so if somebody has asked her a question or whatever, she'll just go to that post, tag them, and then they can comment, like if they don't know like where, I don't know, the meal plan is, or if they have a question, whatever, she'll tag them, wait for them to comment, and then she'll delete her comment, which I thought was super cool because then it saves her a lot of back and forth, and it helps the newer challengers like see that, oh, if I look in the units, I'll be able to figure, I'll be able to see things rather than scrolling through it all. So I thought that was a great idea. Anything else? No? Okay. Boomerang, Maddie and Katie, do you guys want to get on? So we can do a picture or a boomerang or something. Boomerangs I suck at when I'm holding the phone because I wiggle it. Oh my goodness. Okay, you ready? Boomerang first. 1, 2, boomerang, go. Okay, we got to do that again. You guys are not good at this. All right, are we ready? Boomerang. So everybody needs to move. Okay, ready? Like open and close your mouth, something. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to do it one more time because I think when I say it, it's slow because I record it and then all of a sudden Gina's like, okay, so ready? I'm going to wait. So just do it for a really long time until I say we're done. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. I love it. Okay, that's awesome. Let's get a picture. We are the best team ever. Like seriously, you guys. The best. Okay, picture ready. 1, 2, 3, smile. Hold on. All right, I got it. I will tag you. I'll tag you all. Sweet. We have 3 minutes left. I will stop the recording.